to talk to you today a little bit about the ways that we overcome isolation. Isolation here is a real problem, not because of the feeling of being alone. Quite honestly, I like the isolation. I like not being bothered all the time. For me, the isolation is more an issue of um, obedience. It's an issue of effectiveness. If you become isolated in one of these small eastern Montana towns, it's easy to become comfortable and coast and not really be effective in ministry. And I'm sure that's the problem in a lot of places is when a pastor isolates themselves, they lack accountability, they lack drive, they lack vision, they're just not as good as they could be. So a few of the ways that we do that I've done that, because Jordan is the most isolated county seat in the lower 48 states. I'm going to meet another pastor now. He's driving 45 minutes to Miles City. I'm driving an hour and 15 minutes to Miles City so that we can meet. That is unwieldy. That is not a sustainable model to be on the highway that much in order to do that, because we waste a lot of time and finances in order to do that. Here's a few of the ways that I have been able to overcome isolation. Number one, get involved with your state convention. Our convention meets a couple times a year in different places, and those meetings are invaluable to me. Being able to meet other pastors, kind of just rub shoulders and know that we're in this together. It reminds you of the greater work, that you are part of something bigger. Another way that we do it is social media. I know a lot of people don't like social media. I see it as a tool. Instead of using it as a way to promote and compare, we use it as a way of communicating. Talking to other pastors through social media, showing them what we have going on, being able to see what they have going on, keeping up with family and friends. Social media has been a huge blessing. I'm not sure we would have made it out here without social media. When we moved here, MySpace was the big social media platform. Another way that we deal with the isolation seems counterintuitive, but it has actually worked really well for us, and that is to embrace it. I don't think it's healthy to try and ignore problems or issues. Just own it, say that that's exactly what it is, and then figure out ways to do it. And so embracing the isolation has been helpful for us because we're able to, instead of using it as an excuse, we use it as a motivator. I guess the biggest way that we've been able to overcome the isolation, though, is to build stronger relationships. We do things as a family most of the time, and we spend time together, so we've built those relationships within our family, but also within the church. I know there's a lot of people that said for a while that pastors aren't supposed to become friends with people, and be careful, they will hurt you. All true, but at the same time, that's a risk that you take being a pastor. And if you are not going to be around the people and build those relationships, you are going to be lonely. You are going to be isolated. And you cannot fulfill the Great Commission in isolation. So you have to do what you can to overcome that. And we have made relationships, tight friendships. Our church is one big family with all the problems that brings. You know how it is when you get a whole family together at Christmas. There's always but we have to work through it. We are a family, and we build those relationships. So we do family nights. We spend a lot of time together. We're there on Sundays for hours most of the time because we need that interaction and those fellowships. Those strong relationships combat the isolation that not just pastors feel in these small churches, but people in the town feel it as well. And so when we have a sense of community and sense of relationship and sense of family, it helps us to overcome that isolation. Not sure if you can see it, but there's a crack in the windshield. We had a little rock chip, and when Sharon turned on the defroster last night, it took off across the window. I'm starting a chip repair business there in town. I've got somebody that's gonna spot me the money to buy the kit and learn how to do it. So hopefully we can prevent this for some other people. So while I was in Miles City, a couple of the guys in the church did some rearranging for us. We've added 3 feet to the stage, and we've changed quite a bit, turned those things. What we're trying to do is create more room in the back so that we can put our live musicians and our singers to come up to the front a little bit.